Hello and welcome to ANF Plus. I'm Andy Perotti. This is Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates. Stockbridge Mayor Jayden Williams is speaking out, responding to allegations of misspending taxpayer money and claims of sexual misconduct after City Council moved to suspend many of his administrative duties pending an independent investigation. Our exclusive interview with the mayor, his answers, his explanations, and what he says happens next starts now on ANF Plus. Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Let's start with that specially called special City Council meeting, July 17th. Tell us what you knew about that meeting before you actually attended.
Yeah, I would say I got the email 3 days before the meeting that there will be a special called meeting. I did not get the agenda or any information about what was being discussed in executive session, which is typical practice with myself, the city manager, and the attorney. We went to the meeting and the only thing was executive session. So we went into executive session and the city attorney asked me to step out. They did the deliberations from there and came out with the 21-page letter and the resolution that was presented during that meeting.
So before executive session, did you have any inkling that they would be talking about you and the allegations of misspending?
Not at all.
How long was that executive session?
2.5 hours, I believe.
And were you asked at all to come into that executive session to maybe explain some of these allegations?
Yeah, originally I was in the meeting. They asked me to step out. They did not give me the law. That was the purpose of me stepping out. They didn't give me the reason of. They just said, hey, Mayor, we need you to step out at this time. I was asked to come back in maybe an hour after, and they just asked me a few questions of misspending, and they told me the purpose. They said, hey, we presented this to council. They have a few questions. Are you willing to answer or not? First I said no, but then they said, well, we need a little more information for clarification. So I answered 3 questions. I think one was about frames. Where did you buy frames from? And the other was a few questions on my spending. I gave them the answer, and then I had to step back out.
And when they reconvened, you ended the executive session officially, and then the mayor pro tem essentially reads this entire resolution. As he's reading it, essentially stripping away most of your administrative duties as mayor. What's going through your mind?
I'm here for the ride at this point. I was very much aware when I got elected, especially at a young age, the snakes I was getting in bed with. So I knew exactly what I was preparing for. What I did not expect was them to say I have all these administrative powers, and per the charter, most of those powers I don't have. So I was expecting it, but it was a surreal moment.
So they took away your purchasing card, they took away your keys, they took away your ability to drive a city vehicle, and you can't even talk to city employees, is that right?
Correct, which is typical practice. We can't talk to employees anyway, especially when we're giving directives to city. It has to go to the city manager. The keys and the card, the city manager actually canceled my card days before they even called for this investigation and signed the resolution. I don't know if it was with or without council consent, but he let me know, hey, Mayor, we're going to be canceling your card. And that was all I knew. My card stays in my office as well as my city keys. And so at any point, if I should ever need them, I would have to go to City Hall to grab them.
So essentially everything that they took away from you or your ability to do, how is this impacting your ability to serve as mayor for the city?
It is the hardest thing in the world to do this as mayor. One, because as the chief executive officer of the city and of course the main spokesperson, I travel a lot representing the city of Stockbridge. Now I'm having to use my own vehicles and my own resources. Also, as well as when we go out and I have to, let's say I have to purchase some frames for a proclamation, or I have to get some information, I don't have my card to use that. It's kind of difficult to really do my job, especially because one of the things they put in the resolution was I can't go inside of my office. So since I can't go into non-public areas of the city's facilities, it's hard for me to do work because I don't have access to my office.
So you can't go into your own office?
Correct.
Without another city employee being there?
Correct.
Let's go through some of the allegations of misspending in that 21-page document. I know you've addressed some of these in your YouTube video, but I'd love an explanation. There is one specifically about Henry County Schools Foundation for school lunches. You made a donation there. They're saying that there is essentially a handwritten note stating that there is an additional $398 processing fee. They appear to be questioning that fee's legitimacy. What's your explanation for that charge?
Yeah, I gave a total of $4,200 to the public school system, or their foundation rather, to cancel student lunch debt. And that $4,200 was nowhere near canceling the debt, but it was just something that we could give to the foundation and say, hey, we want to play a key part, at least from the mayor's office. So I gave $2,000 from a public-private partnership that I've done with the organization that wanted to match the donation that I was giving out of my incentives. And I gave a total of, out of the $5,000 I had for the year, $2,200. It pushed up to was 23.98, one of those, because of the 9% servicing fee that they charge to do the purchase.
So that charge was a processing fee for donating by what, credit card?
Correct, by card. It was a processing fee of 9%, and it was only like $180 if I'm not mistaken.
And did the city have a breakdown? Did they have this receipt showing that?
Yeah, they have the receipt, and it was signed by the foundation's director saying that it was paid.
There is another charge that they questioned. It's $176. It involved a hotel stay in Montgomery. It appears as if they questioned whether you attended this event in Selma. Did you attend?
Absolutely. I came late. We actually sent our youth council scholars to the event, and they had a 3-day trip where they visited museums. They visited historical sites with the A.D. King Foundation. I didn't have the time to go for the full weekend, so I joined them on the last day.
And you have a picture?
Yes, and I have the receipt. They have the receipt where I stayed one night.
Do you have a receipt and a picture?
Yes.
So why would they question whether you attended this event at all?
That's a great question. We had no idea that that was something that was under review until I received that document.
There is a charge for $142 at a Clark Atlanta University bookstore. They say it was a charge for office furnishings, and it looks like the receipt shows a diploma frame or diploma cover. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I got a frame for the wall to put up inside of my office for my degree. I'm a proud graduate. I wanted to showcase that in my office. I received the document, and I asked the clerk at the time, hey, is this something that I can use as office furniture? And she told me yes. So my assumption as a new mayor with no experience and no training in how to use my card and what for, I used it for office furniture.
And they said that was fine.
Yes.
The clerk's office,
She
you're
said,
saying?
She said it's not abnormal that someone uses their P card to purchase office furniture.
When you were elected and you came into office, did you receive any training or documentation of what can be used and cannot be used for purchasing card purchases?
Absolutely not. The only thing I received is, hey, Mayor, here's your card. It was in an envelope that I had to activate myself. And they said the only thing you can't use on it is personal items and fuel cards.
Okay. They didn't provide you any documentation, like, here are the rules?
Not at all.
Okay.
They say there was a policy, and I never received it.
Okay. I'm wondering if someone at home is watching this going, well, shouldn't the mayor know these things ahead of time? Shouldn't he have reached out to the city clerk or whoever to say, hey, what are the rules before I start using this?
Yeah, I didn't receive my card until February. At that time, we had our first meeting by then. Our clerk that's been there 20 plus years was no longer there. We have a brand new city manager who's literally cusping a year now, and we have an interim city clerk who's just kind of going into the fold and taking the role. So it was kind of hard for me to get the experience because the people who would have it are brand new as well.
There are two purchases that they question, one in March and one in May, at a cocktail bar called Nova Kitchen and Cocktail, one for $123 and another one for $90. Can you explain those purchases?
Yeah, the first one I had a team meeting. So if you know, the city does not provide me any staff. So I have to now curate my own community team to help me do the things that a mayor can do with typical staff, especially at a city my size. So I've curated a team, and the first one for about $140 was actually a team meeting. And I was told by the city treasurer, you can use this fund to do that for your team, whether they're inside team or outside. You could have also used the hospitality budget, which is what was told to me. I used my incentives instead. And then the other one, we had a field day with the city of Jonesboro's mayor. And the only thing that the facilitator asked of us was to just provide dinner for her and her team, which is one individual and herself.
I've never been to Nova Kitchen, a cocktail bar, but it does have the name cocktail bar in it. Why go to a place that apparently serves alcohol? Why not have it at City Hall and order Chick-fil-A?
Almost every facility in the city of Stockbridge, or every restaurant just about, serves alcohol in the city of Stockbridge, but we also make it very clear, and they have the receipts we don't do alcohol. I don't purchase alcohol on the city's dime. So it was nothing but food and a fountain drink.
Okay. There's a charge for $38 for Uber Eats at Stoner's Pizza in Savannah, Georgia. Can you explain that charge?
Yeah, I was actually there for a L'Chaim Jewish Historic Mayors Conference where they were telling us about the Jewish community, learning more about it as mayors and how we can contribute it to our communities. They did not provide dinner. It was very late, did not have a car because I flew down, and that was the charge for dinner.
It says, there's no such listed event on the mayor's calendar for this date in Savannah. The mayor's calendar reflects a webinar. So did you attend, or was this a webinar?
So the network that provided the trip was actually a network that I do multiple opportunities with. One instance was a webinar, this Jewish conference at which I have photos at the conference. I have photos signing the proclamation at the conference, was a in-person conference in Savannah.
So you went?
Absolutely.
Okay. There's that another allegation that you created your own authorization form. Did you make that authorization form?
Absolutely not. They had to create it because they put my credit card number at the top that I did not have until February. I received these cards in January, or the forms in January. So the clerk's office had these in advance. Once they said the council made the decision to move all of our procurement information to the executive assistant to council, it was given to me and I had to do them myself, but I did not create a form. Those were already produced for my office.
There's another charge for $322.92 at Pandora on the Square. There were 3 gift cards for city staff for Father's Day. What is this charge?
So we did something for Father's Day, my community team and I, where we got 25 bags and gave them to the community. I went to Pandora on the Square on Father's Day and thought it'd be a great idea to get some gift cards to give to some of my staff members. I had only purchased 3. My team said it may not be wise of you to give it to staff because, hey, it's only 3. I have a multitude of men on my staff in the city of Stockbridge. So instead of giving it to the people, I put the 3 gift cards in 3 random bags that we were given to community members and blessed them instead, and it was a random blessing. So that's what that charge is, and I know the city is trying to make a different accusation of what it was, but that is what we used it for.
City records indicate multiple purchases of fuel with the mayor's city-issued fuel card with multiple transactions on the same day in different locations, indicating that Mayor Williams purchased fuel at multiple vehicles. Did you purchase fuel for multiple vehicles on the same day?
I find that very interesting because I have to go to an administrator to check out keys to even receive the vehicle. So I'm not sure how this allegation came about, and I don't know how it's feasible or possible for me when I have to check in and out with someone to have 2 vehicle keys and to get fuel at the same time on the same day with different vehicles.
So let me ask this question again because I didn't get a yes or no. Did you use your fuel card for multiple vehicles on the same day?
No, and we don't have a fuel card. We have a fuel pin.
Okay.
So I want to be very specific on that.
Any idea why they would make this allegation?
Because we have a pin. The cards stay inside of the vehicle. In what I was told from the treasury office is your pin is usually your birthday. Anybody could take that card and type my birthday in, which is public record, and receive gas.
Okay. There have been multiple allegations made that Mayor Williams has allowed non-city employees to drive or otherwise use a city-owned vehicle, including instances documented by photo or video and sent to council. Were you allowing non-city employees to use city vehicles?
Yes. When I got the email from council saying to stop in February, I did cease that immediately. It was a one-time thing, and it was corrected.
Any idea how many times this happened?
Maybe twice.
Okay. What was it for?
When we travel a lot, and then one was parking. We were at an event, I had to rush in, and I asked them to simply park the car.
Okay. Have you been recklessly driving a city-owned vehicle?
Absolutely not. I know what instance they're referring to. I almost got into an accident because somebody was literally going when it was not their turn to go. I swerved the city vehicle over. The individual proceeded to follow me and say that I was recklessly driving when I was simply trying to avoid an accident.
The majority of the funds that they're alleging that you misused is something called an incentive fund.
That's our initiative.
Explain what that is, and are you the only one with this type of fund?
Yeah, so for the year, mayor and council, every council member gets $5,000 to use it for whatever they see fit. And this is per the words that I'm using that the treasurer gave us as well. That budget could be from our events to hosting what we need to host within our district or the mayor's office, And it's what we just need to literally supplies. So that $5,000 serves as an incentives and initiatives budget, more like a discretionary budget for the individual.
Why do you think council did this?
That's a great question. I thought we were serving well, moving the city in a brighter direction, a different future for the city. But I can tell you from day one, it's been a fight. From respect to my age, to respect to me having the position, the respect of me winning the position, it's been like a coin toss to see who has the most power. I can tell you for a fact the council has not welcomed me, most of them, into this role, especially because I'm so young and they say I have no experience and I don't know the history of the city. But I can tell you for a fact I was expecting something. I just was not expecting this.
There's been claims of alleged sexual misconduct. Mm-hmm. What do you know about those sexual misconduct claims?
I will tell you, and I'm going to tell you up front, this is ridiculous at this point. It's really getting out of hand at the way they're trying to go about it. I had certain council members reach out to my grandmother, reach out to family members to tell me to resign. We have so much dirt on him. We have so much evidence. If he goes through with this hearing that we had the other day at the Superior Court, we're going to just drop this bombshell. So we're all like, what's the bombshell? And why are you threatening my family members instead of coming to me as an adult? And then we went to the hearing. I proceeded with the hearing. A few hours after the hearing, they dropped and added an additional allegation to the 21 pages, which was, oh, we're now looking into sexual misconduct. It was never received by myself or the attorneys. As you can see, it's not in the 21-page document. And at this point, I think it's just a spiteful game to try to deter my reputation and my name as the mayor of the city.
Are you aware of any man or woman that has made any allegations saying that you sexually inappropriately touched them or said something? Like, are you aware of any person that has made these allegations?
I am not. And if there is someone, they should have gone to the police department, and that should be processed through the police department, in which still at this very moment, there's still no information on it.
This is not a criminal investigation.
Right.
And I think the city admitted that the person or company that they're paying to conduct this independent investigation is getting paid about $200 an hour. Is that right?
Correct.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's disgusting to have someone getting paid $200 an hour to review $5,000. That's something we could have discussed internally. That's something we have an awesome financial team to literally review. We're literally going through an audit at the same time. So if there was something abnormal that they saw, or if they possibly thought was abnormal, they would have saw it in the audit that we're currently processing. So I have no clue about this, and I hope for the best.
I think there was a resolution proposed to essentially look into other purchasing card purchases by other city council members, but that resolution didn't pass. What would that have done, and why was that proposed?
So this resolution has been done for years now, and the council just won't take accountability and just simply do it. I personally feel that there is something to hide. They're going to do it how they're doing it now. They're going to handle it like they're handling it. But if there's nothing to hide, just call for the audit or just ask for them to view your P card. The ethics board even fought for this last year. And of course, our ethics board reports to the city council. So the city council has to put it on our agenda for it to be discussed. They have not done that since the chair sent that letter to council. The motion failed. Of course, one of the council members says she's done it multiple times at this point, outside of even my investigation. So she's done it multiple times and it's failed every time, not even with the second. I don't know what they're hiding. I don't know why it's an issue for them to show up, but if it was just as easy for them to do it for mine, it should be just as easy for people to see theirs as well.
What's the most frustrating thing about this whole thing?
That I'm not able to do my job. I've been trying to serve the city of Stockbridge and have been serving since my sophomore year in high school. Now as mayor, when I have a little bit more leeway to do what I really want to do for the city, it's kind of hard to see so much pushback, especially from my colleagues. I just literally announced 2 days before an estate planning class, which from my office, we received a grant that we had to return to literally pay for residents' will, trust, and their estates to be paid off and to have that for generational wealth and for their families. And a lot of people are frustrated about that. So that is probably one of the biggest downfalls. My initiatives and incentives that I tried to push in the city, they can't happen at the moment.
One of the allegations says there was damage to a city vehicle while it was checked out under your name. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so I actually know about that. I sent a written report about it when the city manager requested it from me with HR. There's no proof that the damage came from me. I was the first person to have the vehicle along with 2 employees after that. Like I said earlier, we have to check in and out the city key to 1 individual. So nobody knows where the damage came from. I truly believe that they're just adding this to it to just add fuel to their investigation.
Here's another one that's just above this that we didn't talk about. There have been multiple allegations that a city-owned vehicle was present at a nightclub while checked out to Mayor Williams, not on city official. Did you take a city-owned vehicle to a nightclub?
Absolutely not. We don't even have nightclubs in the city. I will say I do something called small business spotlights, and we have a lot of lounges within the city. So if I go when they open and I record a video, that may be it, but I don't go to nightclubs. That's not even something I do personally.
Okay. What do you say to citizens? What do you say to Stockbridge citizens that have doubt?
I would say most of the purchases, all of the purchases I've made, I can take accountability for some. If they say, hey, this is against the policy, I will take that. Again, I've had no training. I have no support, and I have no experience in being an elected official. This is my first go round. And so I expected training. I expected mentorship. I expected guidance, and I didn't receive any of that. So I will take most accountability for some of them, but most of them I've given them receipts, and they have the documentation, whether it's a lost receipt affidavit or it's the actual receipt, they have the documentation. What I can say is this is a stressful fight, but I'm willing to be all in for the city of Stockbridge, just like I told the residents from day one. It's not going to change. So it's frustrating as a young person. It's tiring. There's moments where I want to give up, but just like I tell everybody, I can tell you this is bigger than myself. This is for every individual that's young and wants to run for office after me, for people that may be going through the exact same thing that I'm going through right now, because a lot of people don't know. Mayors go through this all the time. This isn't new, but it's about how we handle it, how we move forward with it, and continue to do the work for the city.
All right. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.